الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Please pardon the delay. Traffic was a little difficult. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا وأعمالنا. ما يهده الله فلا مضل له وما يضلله فلا هادي له. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. إن الله رسله بالهدى والدين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا وسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا. هو الذي يصلي عليكم وملائكته ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور وكان بالمؤمنين رحيما. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلوات إن الله مع الصابرين. ولا تكونوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون. ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع والنقص من الأموال وأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him and we seek His help. And we seek His forgiveness and we repent to Him and we seek refuge in Him from the evilness from our own souls. He who Allah guides, none can lead astray, and he who is astray, no one can guide him. We bear witness that there is no God except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He He is alone without any partners or form. And we bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his servant and his messenger and last prophet. Verily, Allah sent him with the guidance and religion of truth, and he may proclaim it over all religion, even though the pagans and polytheists may detest it. O you who believe, celebrate the praises of Allah and do so often and glorify Him in the morning and in the evening. He it is who sends blessings on you, as do the angels, and that He may bring you out from the depth of darkness into the light. He is full of mercy to the believers. O you who believe, fear Allah as He deserves to be feared, and do not die except for a state of submission as Muslims. Verily, the most truthful narration is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the best advices and guidance is the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The most evil of affairs is innovation in this deen. Every innovation leads to bid'ah, which is a deviation, and every bid'ah leads astray, and every going astray leads to the fire of hell. As for the following verses go as the following here. This is from Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 153 through 157. O you who believe, seek help with patient perseverance and prayer, for Allah is with those who patiently persevere. And say not to those who are slain in the way of Allah that they are dead. No, they are living, though you perceive it not. Be sure we shall test you with something of fear, of hunger, some loss in goods and lives, and fruits of your labor. But give glad tidings to those who patiently persevere, and those who say, when afflicted with a calamity, to Allah we belong, and to Him is our return. They are those on whom descend blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their Lord, and mercy, and they are the ones who receive guidance. I picked these verses today and they touched my heart because certain things happen in my life. And you know, when you go through Quran many times, you have things afflict you. It's good to go to Quran and reflect. These verses touch me because each one of us are going to have one of the things that was mentioned. What was mentioned was to be patient, to be perseverant in prayer. And that Allah is patiently with those who are perseverant and consistent. This is part of what we're supposed to do when we have a calamity. In one of the tafsir, using the reasoning with restraint, using reason with restraining fear and anger and desire. What can be higher for the patience and perseverance of self-restraint and constancy than to have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as your supporter and giving you guidance. And those who die in Allah's cause, do not say that they are dead. They are alive. But we do not perceive it. We do not have that perception. We will be tested, each and every one of us, individually and also collectively, it could be seen, with fear, with hunger, and loss of goods, lives, and fruits of our labor that we've put in for years. But with all of that, when we are hit with a calamity, we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To Allah we belong, and to Him is our return. Upon those who say this, there will be blessings and mercy from Allah, and they also receive guidance. This subject touches on another one, which is very common that we mention. It has to deal with the Qadar of Allah. We talk about the Qadar, and I would like to give you certain descriptions about His Qadar, because it's more than just one word. In the Quran, as we know, all the names of Allah from the Ismail al-Husna, which we see here, they're listed in the Quran, and there's three here I want to touch on. Al-Qadir, Al-Qadir, and Muqtadir. The all-able, the omnipotent, and the dominant. This is how it's translated. And we use these following verses to support where these names are in the Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna Allah qadirun ala an yunazzila ayah. This is from Surah Al-An'am. Allah is certainly able to send down a sign. In another verse, قُلْ هُوَ الْقَادِرُ عَلَى يَبْعَثَ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابًا مِّنْ فَوْقِكُمْ أَوْ مِنْ تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِكُمْ. It says Allah has the power to send down torment upon you from above or from underneath below your feet. El-Qadir. Alam ta'alam anna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. And know you not that Allah is able to do all things? This is from Surah Al-Baqarah. And in the following, La ta'allamu anna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. And that you may know Allah has power over all things. This is from Surah Al-Talaq. In Surah Al-Kahf, we have the following verse with the word and the name of Allah Al-Muqtadir, the dominant. وَكَانَ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقْتَدِرًا. And Allah is able to do everything. All of these have to deal with how Allah what is the Qadr is what has been already decreed for us before even we come to flesh. And as believers, we believe everything happens for a reason, meaning the good and the bad. And we rely upon Allah. We rely upon Him knowing that everything is in its place as it belongs and nothing is out of His place as He decreed. We use this qadr sometimes to understand why we're having certain calamities and tests in our own lives. Loss of good, loss of life, loss of property, and in some cases, loss of your sanity, your well-being. I would like to relate to you the story about Ibrahim alayhi salam and the qadr that was put upon him. As we know that Ibrahim received divine guidance from childhood. We know about him as an adult, but it started when he was young. His father used to build statues in the temple, praying to these pagan wooden gods. Ibrahim, being a bit rascally, I would say, used to kick them, ride on them, knock them over. He would, jostle them around to show that they have no power. For years, he defied his father who built these and the people in his village. As we know, Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was looking for his Lord, and he looked at the stars, he looked at the moon, he looked at the sun. In each case, he said, "This is not my Lord. This is not my Lord." In regard to the stars, to the moon, and looking even at the sun. While others were praying to these various objects, thinking that this is their God. But in one case, we have where they had a big feast. And all the villagers of Ibrahim's village went outside the town, and it was across the river they had a big feast. And while they were away, Ibrahim went into the temple. And he smashed every idol. He damaged them, he knocked them over, hit them with an axe. He destroyed them all. Except for one. And when the people came back and they saw that their temple had been entered and all their gods were destroyed, and they saw Ibrahim there. "Oh, Ibrahim, who did this? Did you do this?" And he said, "No, you did it. The big one over there." And he had already laid the axe right next to him. They had blinked their eyes. Well, how can he do it? We built him. Just for that moment, a touch of faith hit them, but the disbelief just came back to them, and they said, "Oh, no, he couldn't have done that. We built him." And they came back to the disbelief and said, "Ibrahim, we seize upon you, and we're going to give you a terrible punishment." So they bound Ibrahim, and as they bound him, they held him, and they dug a pit, and they got every piece of wood, twig, leaf, and anything that could burn to fill that pit, and started a tremendous fire. His own father was there to help lead him into that fire. Ibrahim, before he entered the fire, was approached by two angels, Mikael and Israfil. Mikael asked him before he was put into the fire, "How can I help you?" "I don't need you. He's bound here, about to be thrown in the fire. Israfil comes up, "How can I help you?" With that, he uttered the following: Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is enough for me and is the best to rely on. So they threw Ibrahim into the fire. The fire was so intense that non-believers could not stay around the fire. It singed their own skins to come close. And the fire was so intense that it burnt for days and days and days. But what did Allah say concerning this? قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Fire, be thou cool, and a place of safety. Although Ibrahim was in the fire for an extended period of time, nothing was damaged of his being. His clothes were not singed, nor did they have soot of the flame. His skin was just as it was before he was put into the fire. The only thing that was touched when they came and saw Ibrahim exiting the fire. Shortly before that, they saw him in motion, doing certain motions of prayer. Allah had decreed that he was to be put into the fire, to be tied up and put into a fire that most of us, we couldn't stand next to. He will be safe, that this fire will not touch him. This was part of the Qadar, and he accepted it. We, from the outside, if we're going to be put into a fire, of course we're going to be very fearful. And will that happen to us? Allah knows best what could happen to us. But we use Ibrahim's example in saying this dua to have what? Trust and faith in Allah. Would have been burnt to a cinder. It was very, very important for us to understand this. Ibrahim made salah in the fire. And Allah says further, and we listened to his prayer and delivered him and his family from great distress. This was part of the understanding of how strong his faith is. Understanding that Allah is his protector. Will not leave him in the lurch. So what do we learn from this? Patience. And I don't mean passive patience like we're waiting for a bus or a train. We're active, calling upon Allah, persevering. We're calling to Allah and we're talking to him. And we're putting our trust and everything that we have in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibrahim's example is one of the best things that we should follow as Muslims. Because right now, individually, many of us are having issues. We have issues in our lives with our job, our family, your wives, your kids, your neighbor. Collectively, all the Muslims, not only here but throughout America, are having issues dealing with an administration from the White House in Washington, D.C., where Muslims are banned from certain countries. Muslims are seen as terrorists. They're seen as troublemakers instead of being seen as being one of those that make a change in the neighborhood, in the areas that they are. They change and we purify ourselves. And we go out and we spread what Allah has bestowed upon us in our communities, adding stability, morality, and guidance in our own families, within the areas that we live and work. And giving and sharing guidance and wisdom to those who don't know about Allah, those who don't know anything about Islam, and may have never ever met a Muslim until they met you, or you, or you. Alhamdulillah, that Allah has given us a guidance, given us a book, and given us the best examples of a prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also in the examples of the trials of all of the prophets, because all of the prophets are the ones that we should be looking at and praising their examples, because they had severe tests. All of them did. They just didn't say they believed in God people and then didn't get a test. Each and every one got a test. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who were his biggest enemies? His own blood family. The people you would think he would be close to him. They opposed him. Very big test. Had to leave. Why? Because they tried to kill him, assassinate him. Very big test. Many of us may have gone through that also when Islam came to us. And our own families looked at us. They said, what do you mean? You're praying to who? No more alcohol? No more pork? You're not taking drugs? You're not doing all these things out here that you and other people are doing? You all have these tests. Be patient and be constant and consistent in your prayer, in your dua, and asking Allah for guidance, protection, and mercy, because we are in very, very, very deep and trying times. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Continuing these trials of Qadar, when they come to us, turn to your salah. When they come to us, turn also to your dua. Making dua, hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, making your salah, making your extra rak'ah. And staying on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. We say in the Fatiha, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Guide us to what? The straight path. So staying on the path, our prayers are very vital. As for dua, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said in some hadith that the dua is one of the few things that can intervene for divine intervention, meaning what was written for you in your book. Making dua, perhaps Allah will change that decree on your behalf because you made dua, because you made salah, because you can't call upon Him and you put your trust in Him. This is very, very, very important. Tawakkaltu ala Allah. I trust in Allah in all of my affairs. This is what we as Muslims are advised to do and to follow and be consistent with it, inshallah. Another point that we should bring up, because today is Jummah, alhamdulillah, we're here to see Jummah. We woke up healthy, and we woke up able to get here, and also share with each other and see each other. As I've not seen many of you in maybe a year's time. And I'm thankful to be here. Alhamdulillah, but to remind you is that these days of Jummah are very good times to be thankful, but also thoughtful of our elders who are not able to come, support them, visit them. The ones who are sick, call them. And also for the ones who have passed, visit their graves. This masjid has had very, very good leadership. Starting with Nasser Ahmed, with Sheikh Nafi al-Muhaymin, and then Sheikh Anwar, and Imam Anas, and Imam Qais. Alhamdulillah, make dua for all of them, inshallah. But one thing we should keep in mind is that many of us are standing on the shoulders of those who came before us. And they are not here today to share with us. But we should make dua for them, known and unknown, male and female. Those who were supporters of this Jama'ah here have a long history. And the history of this Jama'ah leads all the way back to a man who left this country back in the late 20s, went to Turkey and traveled to Egypt, and came back to America and established Sunni communities in Buffalo and Hamilton, New Jersey. His name is Muhammad Azuddin. Very few people know of him. And if you do, alhamdulillah, most of us in this new age don't know of this man. And through him, many Sunni communities arose. Here, New York, Cleveland, as far as St. Louis, one in Tampa Bay, okay, Boston, many of them also were of this organization which was called the Qadar of Allah Universal Arabic Association. My own family came through this group. And I mention this man because he's lost in history. Most of us don't know about him other than what others wrote about him. But I had one degree of difference. I sat with his will and learned about him personally. Make dua for brothers like this, who in ages where a Muslim was one out of maybe over 1,000, maybe 10,000. I remember there was times when if you saw Kufi 50 yards away, you will go out of your way to go shake his hand and say salam. Whereas now, we have a Muslim 10 feet away and won't shake your hand, look in your eyes and say salam. We had a very long, strong love in those days. And those who came for us before us strived and sacrificed, gave of themselves, their money, and their property, so that we may be able to have a touch of that legacy today. Dua for them. We know them, and some of them we don't know. But keep them in your prayers, because we stand on their shoulders. As the youth behind us will be standing on our shoulders. Encourage the youth and give them love and hugs. And let them know that, yes, Allah has guided you. Okay? For those who are young that see me now, you will be in our positions one day. You will be in our positions. You will be leading the khutbah. You will be doing all the things that you see Imam Anas and Sheikh Anwar and all the other leaders here do. Take pride in knowing that you're taught properly, you were guided aright. And hold on to your Islam. Protect your faith. When the shaitan comes, reject him. Reject him. Otherwise he could contaminate you. In your spirit, your mind, and even your soul. So protect yourself from this. In closing, I would like to thank the staff here for inviting me, Imam Anas and Sheikh Anwar. It's not often that I come here, but it's good that once in a while they call me up and say, Amin, inshallah, come down to Philadelphia. I'm from Jersey. I'm most thankful that I'm a student here at Cuba Institute for a number of years. If you are a student here, hold on to your legacy. You are taught among the best. And be proud, but not arrogant, but proud that Allah has opened up a door for you, for us to come and have the Qadar of Allah on our tongues and in our heart. More importantly, in our heart. One of us, or is a miracle in the making, because Islam was not supposed to come to America by those who set this country up. This is the last thing they wanted to see. Why? Because and will fight against and oppose all the oppression that they're putting out. The racism, the economic tyranny, the political corruption. Where's the answer for all that? La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Islam was brought to set people aright. We are among those who are blessed, even if we have a small portion, to share the light and maintain ourselves to be good examples, not just for yourself, but for your families, and for those who will be around you, and also for the future generations who are to come, who we don't even see right now. So protect it. It's very valuable. Don't squander it, and don't waste it. Inshallah, and Allah bless each and every one of you. And your families, inshallah. Inshallah. In closing, I would like to say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala khair al-mursalin Muhammad, Nabi Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. يا عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah, our Lord, forgive us, guide us, and keep us from being transgressors against the duties that you put upon us to keep, and establish our feet firmly and give us victory over those who are disbelieving and corrupt people. Oh Allah, we believe in what you have sent down and follow the messenger and his message, and write us down among those who bear witness that you are the true Lord. Our Lord, place us not with the people who are Zalimun, the polytheists, those who resist and persist in their idol worshiping. We are among those who are trying to be righteous, the correct guidance, inshallah. Our Lord, pour down on us patience and cause us not to die, except for being Muslim. صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد